What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're finally here to see Halloween Kills. I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free, don't worry, talk about what I thought about this film and how it compares to the 2018 film. Let's go! So first off, I have had a lot of opinions about the 2018 film. And before you decide to click off me and say, you didn't like it, I don't like you, hear me out. Because I have an entire podcast episode, where we talk about 2018, why I liked and disliked the movie, and ultimately came out thinking, There is a link down below for you to listen to the spoiler-free review, as well as the spoiler review. I highly encourage you to do it, but the encapsulated version of that is the 2018 film felt like it didn't have an identity to itself, and I wanted it to be better than it was. It borrowed a lot of kills from other films in the retcon versions even that kind of bothered me a little bit. I didn't really care too much about the retconning of the sister thing, so that really didn't bother me all that much. Really, I was just disappointed because it felt a little splotchy. It just never felt like the movie was just going. It just felt like it get cut out and you would stop, and almost like, when Godzilla was ready to attack in the first Godzilla movie and then it would just cut away. That's kind of how I felt with Halloween. I'm like, can we just follow Michael and just kill people? Well, good news, guys. They do that here. They've corrected a lot of fucking issues that I had with that film. This movie is much, much better than the 2018 one. So Halloween Kills takes off where 2018, the retcon movie that replaces the second original film in the Halloween franchise with a new story involving Michael Myers not being related to Laurie Strode. And of course, Michael Myers was trapped in Laurie Strode's trap house and, we thought burned alive. But there wouldn't be a sequel if he didn't survive. Spoiler alert, just kidding. But I was right about one thing and how he was going to survive that whole ordeal of a burning house, and it's in the podcast, so I urge you to check it out. This one actually has returning characters from the original movie, which is always great, and I think is a good fan service because it is not dumbing down the movie too much to make it appealing to everyone who is new to Halloween. Because let's face it, it's been over 40 years now since the original came out. So they dumb it down a little, just so you know what characters are which and why they're in here. I will say at the very beginning of the movie, I was a little caught off guard as to what was going on. They did some things that they added in from movies that this is supposed to be a branch away from, meaning the original Halloween Part 2. They had stuff in there that I was like, okay, I thought you were cutting out Part 2. Like, what's going on? But it was fine. I didn't mind that. That didn't bother me that much. But this one is a brutal Michael Myers, which is what I prefer. I do like to see him go ham on a bunch of people. And congratulations to Mr. Myers, because Michael Myers has now beaten Jason in most amount of kills in a single film to date. Now, apparently there are, and I won't say how many because I don't want to spoil it for you. There's a lot. And let's just say Jason's big total was like 21. Michael Myers surpasses that, so kudos, buddy. This one is a pretty bloody one. There was a kill in this movie that I was like clapping because I was like, ooh! Something else I also liked about this movie is that the vibe was there. The music really fucking carries this movie in ways that I don't think the movie would be as exceptional if it wasn't for the score in this. I really enjoyed it. This has like all kinds of different moments and scores that are kind of mixing in new things while adding like old elements and kind of keeping it loud and present. And I think that that is a very important part in this franchise to me, because when you hear that song, even when you're not watching the movie, it just gives you chills. And I got those chills from the score in this movie. And because this movie doesn't feel splotchy as the 2018 one did to me, it feels like it flows way better. I was so thankful for it. I wanted a movie that was going to be riding on the back of a land shark, and I got that. I am the type of person that enjoys the very first Halloween atmosphere and the scare, and it's like When you want to go on a roller coaster ride, you want to get on the back of the land shark who's going around killing people, right? You don't want to always be riding in the side pockets all the time. I understand character development is important, and they do that here, but they do it in a way that isn't so in your face all the time and detracting from all the good, gory fun that is on display in this movie. So kudos, I'm very happy, and I had a good feeling that this was going to be the better one of the two. There's probably going to be some people that love the 2018 film that are probably not going to like this film and feel like they didn't get enough from it. But really, for me, the story is always about Michael Myers. Yes, I love Laurie Strode in this, and she doesn't really have a huge part in this particular movie, but I'm 100% sure that she's going to be the ultimate factor in the final Halloween Ends movie. And I think a lot of people will be disappointed if it's not. But it makes me wonder where the franchise is going to go for the next film, which will be coming out in October of next year. Will they be able to keep the viciousness and the brutality and all the sentimental stuff and all the nods and things that they do in this movie? If you've seen the trailer, then you know that Haddonfield ain't going down without a fight. Let's just put it that way. And some of the old characters that return are a big part of that, which kind of put a lot of emphasis on the rush that I got in some of the movie. Now, there were some moments in the film where they kind of have this sort of romanticizing about the whole situation and these sort of monologues that were had by some of the characters in the movie, which I think is in part fan service, but it did feel a little hokey to me at times. Like, it just felt a little out of place, but I think they did it tastefully by the end of the movie, which I think had an impact on that particular scene that I can't mention. It made more sense then than it did in some of the sporadic moments that they had in the film. I didn't have any issues with some of the Strode family whatsoever. Some of the new people getting taken out were awesome. It was nice. It was nice to see the suspense, and it felt like Michael Myers was actually on the screen here. I think what they've done with him in this movie is exactly what I like to see with Michael Myers. He's the shape. He's more than human. And they really play on that in this movie. I'm happy. This movie was going to be better than the last one. I had high hopes that it would be, and I was not let down. So yes, I kind of went in with a little bit of an expectation for this to be good. And that can be kind of dangerous because, you know, your expectations can be pretty high. And I think these superseded them. So that's saying something. There are some cheesy moments in this film, some cheesy dialogue that I felt like was a little too much. Didn't feel 100% authentic, but it did do much better than I felt with the last film. And that's all I really, really wanted from this film. I would probably say that this movie, with all the kills, the score, which is phenomenal, and everything kind of working on all the cylinders, we're talking about an 8, maybe an 8.5 here for me. I might be a little high on that. I'd have to watch it again to really say, but I am impressed, and I'm thankful that we have this movie now. Whereas the 2018, it's not the worst one in the franchise, but I was kind of just like, about it. If that's the way you felt and you were looking for more from the franchise and you felt like it didn't have its own identity, this is the movie that will make up for that identity crisis. It makes its own stamp. It makes its own mark in the franchise. And I think really kind of comes together. All of the story elements that might have been a little foreign to us in 2018 now come to a head in this one, which again, what does that leave for Halloween Ends? Can they keep this momentum from this movie into the next, or was this the big, splattery fun one, and the next one's going to be this sentimental, like too much talking, not enough Michael Myers? I know they have to put a bow on it, but I just hope that they can mix the two between this one and maybe whatever they're planning, like the sentimental value and the hopefully glorious killing of Michael Myers finally. But do you think they can they kill their cash cow with this? They can always bring him back. I mean, they stuck a spear in Jason's chest and had lightning strike him, and he came back, so he is the shape. He is much more than man. But what do you guys think? I mean, honestly, I'm really happy about this film. This is one I will definitely, if I were to pull one out of the franchises, this would be one that I would definitely pull out and enjoy and have a lot of fun with. I feel like it's a little bit more serious. It has a lot of different characters, a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of blood to it. Yeah. It was pretty fun, man. Like, it's nice to be back. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this film, if you did not, if you didn't, explain maybe you like 2018 more than this one. Totally fine. For me, this was the better one. I'm happy, and I would love to hear what you guys think. So, but thanks for coming by. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to help support this channel, also check out our merch. There's links down below. And as always, long live Laurie.